What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tardy to the Party, aka T3P. Where us two hooligans here like to talk shop about the holy trinity of pop culture, Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. I'm your boy Jsib, and to my left, no, to my right.
To your right?
It's to my right.
To the left, everything you own?
Used to be the left, now my right. Now, as always,
KP is here.
good old KP, aka KevNKrunch. He's got multiple names.
Do you have multiple names?
But either way, you're getting some spice. Now, for this episode, we got, of course, Loki Season 2, Episode 1 premiere.
Quite hilarious.
So, for once, you and I have not talked. Usually, you and I will get each other's like general thoughts before we film for anything. You and I haven't said anything about this show to each other, so I have no idea how you feel. You have no idea how I feel. So I'm kind of worried because I feel like I'm so opposite. I feel like I always like stuff everybody hates, and I'm always like on stuff everybody loves. I felt like this first episode was very, very meh.
Very meh?
Yeah, very meh. I thought it was very okay, and which...
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm holding out hope, because generally, what's weird is this show kind of gives me a lot of the things that I generally love. It's got time travel in it. While it's simple, it's just using the linear time travel effect, the...
True.
Bill and Ted logic.
Right. Just minus a phone booth, you know?
Yeah. I mean, because Fringe is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and it's got time travel, multi-dimensional shit. All that stuff's very up my alley. Even the way the show is shot, it's very old school horror in a way, with the handheld and certain felt very eerie in a lot of this episode. So there's a lot of things I liked
about
this episode, but at the same time, I just found myself being kind of bored at the same time, and just kind of feeling like, okay, can we just get somewhere? Which, for once, I guess technically for a Disney Plus show, for an episode, it kind of had an arc. Loki is time slipping, and then we have to solve that problem by the end of it. But like I said, I know I'm out of the loop. I don't know why, and maybe this will be, as the season plays on, I'll go back and I'll appreciate this premiere, which we can kind of get to in a minute. I kind of have a theory about a certain scene, but I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same as me or not, but how do you feel?
How do I feel? Yeah, I would have to kind of agree with you that it was just okay. Obviously, with the way season 1 ended on that cliffhanger, you didn't really know if he was in a different universe or just at a different point in time. So then you're going through the episode and you realize how he's doing what you're saying, where he's just manages to be kind of slipping through the time stream in this one universe, like linearly, and there's points where it seems like he's going even further into the past, and then there's other points where it seems like he's going into the future, right? Because I think at one point, yeah, that's what he's doing for sure at one point. So I understand.
Alluding to is the one I have a theory about.
So I feel the same way. It was very okay, but did I hate that? No, because I was just genuinely like invested in this, because again, we were left at such a cliffhanger with season 1. I was like so interested to be like, sit down, watch it. And then as the episode progressed, I was like, okay, so like they kind of just saved face, and they made it like they didn't go crazy complicated with it to where he's going to be jumping around universes, which is what I kind of thought he was going to be doing. He's just jumping around Or at least this. I mean, eventually, hopefully, they do jump around universes because obviously they're going to be like traveling. Like they really consider it like different time streams.
Did you watch the post-credit scene?
I did see the post-credit scene.
So, I mean, we're gonna get into spoilers anyway. I'm probably just gonna title this spoiler review. So, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
In the post-credit scene, when it shows the year, if you look at the bottom, it has like the logo, and then it says like branch. So she's in a branch timeline. When all the other ones.
Oh, I didn't see that it said branch. I just saw where it said like where'd she end up, like somewhere in Oklahoma or something, 1987.
Something like that. It looked like she was at a McDonald's in like the 80s. I can't 82.
Yeah, it was
something like that. It's sometime in the 80s.
I just remember seeing it say 1987, and yeah, she was at a McDonald's. I didn't notice where it said like branch. So that's interesting. So okay, so yeah, they'll for sure probably be hopping around different points in time, or different universes. Anyways, as far as the episode goes, like I said, yeah, it was okay. I found myself laughing at times. Like, I thought there was definitely still some good humor in the episode that kind of helped carry it. So, I mean, I did enjoy it for that reason because, I don't know. I thought it was, entertaining, to say the least.
I will say, I do think the humor overall in this show has been pretty solid. I got actually some genuine like chuckles out of me. I'm trying to actually think of a few that came to mind.
I am trying to as well, and I have to admit, this is probably why I should have watched this for a second time before we recorded. I really do want to watch the episode again, which is probably maybe confusing to anyone watching this review video because they're like, well, you just said it was only okay. So it's, but I don't know. I still want to just watch it again because, again, I found myself kind of laughing at some parts, and it was entertaining enough. And
let's say the only one that comes to mind is the elevator scene when it like happens to him again. Owen Wilson's just basically like, I don't know if I can look at it anymore, and he was like, I thought you said it didn't look that bad. It's horrific.
Yeah.
It looks like you're being born and dying over and over again.
Yeah.
Slowly like pans over to the lady in the corner.
Right.
I think a lot of people point it's very like Wes Anderson style of comedy.
That was really good when it deadpans over. They just go like, you see, like, what do you think or something? And she's just standing there like, what the fuck?
A lot of it kind of came with Ke Huy Quan's character. Ouroboros?
Obi. Something. Obi is what he...
It's the name of the snake that eats itself, too. Ouroboros. I think it's
oh, okay.
Oh, but yeah, Obi. The short version. It's a cool nickname. Really enjoyed seeing him pop up. I hope he's around more than just this little... I don't know, just because...
Yeah, and I thought it was...
I hope it's not just like this kind of small support. I hope Obi kind of becomes actually more of like a prominent character, but that could just be hopeful just because I like him.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting how when they went down there, there's always this general understanding that, oh, we don't know how long we've been at the TVA and shit like that, and they always say that. But then they go down there and they talk to him, and OB says to Mobius's, like, Owen Wilson's character, Mobius, he says, yeah, the last time I saw you was 400 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, like, they kind of put, like, a definite on the TVA, and then obviously with Loki time slipping in the TVA, it's like, well, time does work down there, like it goes linearly. So I just thought that was very interesting because they've always kind of played it out how it's like you kind of were supposed to believe that it's in the quantum realm and time works so differently there, but they still like have this weird way of quantifying it. I don't know. I just found that to stand out personally. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but
no, that stuck out to me too, because that's what I also found kind of. I think that's the thing that kind of threw me off too, is we kind of already had established in the MCU how time travel works, and this almost negates that logic.
Or retcons it.
Yeah, retcons it. Like, and I guess the way you could argue it is that the TVA is in such a weird point in the universe or whatever that its laws are different. Maybe.
I guess.
That's the only that was the only way I could make sense of it. Because other than that, like it doesn't make sense. It either retcons or just is completely opposite of what we've been told. So I don't. That stuck out to me too. I'm not saying you're not the only one. That's for sure. But
yeah. So
I'm just.
I
don't know.
What were you gonna say?
It's just I can't quite put my finger on what. It's not that I didn't like the episode, but I just didn't find myself when it ended just being like, I was just kind of like, okay, cool. On to the next one.
Took it like you said. I mean, it really kind of was an episode with its own like personal arc. And when it ended, I mean, I just took it as like, okay, so next episode, it's time to get to work. Like, this episode was figuring out what's going on with Loki, and that was really that's literally all it was. And then there was some scenes where they kind of teased you about some things to come, but for the most part, I feel like the next episode is they're going to be like, okay, let's get to work. How do we find Sylvie?
I mean, I truly hope so. Because isn't this only 6 episodes?
God, are you fucking... I don't know, but I really hope not. I mean, I hope it's at least 8.
I think it's only 6. I mean, I could double check. Because that's where that just makes me nervous, and I'm just... let's see here.
Well, people are already Googling it, because it's like the top hit. Yep, 6 episodes in total. Cool. So their same format of this should probably have just been a movie, but we're gonna chop it up in the 6 parts.
Yeah, which
I don't know. I'm kind of getting over Disney. Huh?
I said, yeah, they really need to stop doing that formula. It's not working.
Just make 12. Make 12 episodes, and then also commit to a standard runtime.
That's the other thing. At least
keep
it within 5 to 8 minutes of each other. Like, keep it close. Don't give me 49
an hour 1 week.
Yeah, and then 32 minutes, or sometimes there's been episodes that are 28 minutes. It's like, bruh.
Right. It's right. No, you're right, dude. It's like, and we're not bitching about specifically Loki. It's every series on Disney Plus has been this way. At least from what I can understand. I mean, I don't watch.
I'm gonna keep talking.
Huh?
Except for Andor.
And that's the thing. Like, why the hell was Andor like 12, and then consistently kind of around the same run times?
Huh? It's kind of weird that. Huh?
And then
they took our advice, and it's the best show they've done, and they just don't.
Right. And I gotta be honest too. You did that for Andor, but you didn't do it for your household names like Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, and and then literally any of the like, again, Loki for Marvel, WandaVision for Marvel, Falcon and Winter Soldier, like Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel being short, whatever. It was a brand new character introduced. I don't care about that as much, but the same thing with She-Hulk. I don't care as much for those two because they're brand new characters, whatever. you're figuring it out. But like the ones that were established, and I don't know, it just, again, I'm just kind of going on a tangent here because I'm just kind of tired of that formula, and I personally think they need to change it. Especially like when they're gonna increase their price again. It's like the second time in like 6 months. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You should probably pump a little more out. like I understand, major studios, you didn't get your entire way with the writer's strike, and probably won't get your entire way with SAG-AFTRA. But I mean, give like it goes both ways. Like give me more if you want more out of me.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying for your product, and like yeah, you incrementally increase it to where I won't like complain loudly because you're only going up like in $5. But
Eventually.
you've done it two or three times now. So now this Loki review has turned into a tangent about me complaining about streaming services. But no, anyways, Loki though being only 6 episodes, that really sucks. So
I will say here, we'll give something positive, at least for me. One thing that I think they did really well in this first episode was reestablishing the threat that is Kang. Even though he's not necessarily, he's not really there other than like the statues, monuments, and then the voice recording. But I think that
and the voice,
that's a really good positive for me, is that like I can't wait to see Kang show up again, actually, because very background, very eerie, looming presence almost this episode, kind of building him back up. Kudos to them on that, because I am very, very interested, because I was kind of really let down with how they treated him. I think they really should have went with the original ending in Quantumania, where Kang just escaped and Scott was left behind in the quantum realm. They shouldn't have added that extra scene on to get him back, but whatever. So
was not
I think propping him back.
Was not aware. Yeah, was not aware that's how they originally wrote Ant-Man, but yeah, that probably should have been the way that it ended, just to kind of help establish this threat of Kang. Instead of, like you said, instead of like the good guys, quote, winning, but then they don't really win because now they let all the other Kangs out of the Pandora's box.
Their logic was, well, we'll make it a draw. It's basically what it is.
Right. We'll make it a draw, and then we'll tease like these hundreds of thousands of variants of the guy, so then there's an actual threat of the Avengers and whatnot. And anyways, I think Jonathan Majors is in every remaining episode then, because I think it was reported that he is in 5 episodes. So we might see, I think. I can just quickly search that here.
I'll say that would be, I'd be very welcome to that. I mean, I feel like the show would probably need it. Although I would assume maybe next episode, I mean, if he's not in it very prominently, he'll probably just show up at the very end and be like, oh shit, tune in next week.
Oh, I guess only half the episodes.
Okay. So 3.
I thought I could have sworn somewhere I read where he was in like 5. So I was kind of hoping that was true, because then we might see him the very next episode. But if I had to really guess then, since it's only 6 episodes, I would imagine the next 2 will be about how they are going to find and recruit Sylvie. And after that, the rest of the season is going to be how they're going to go find Victor Timely, and they're going to try to kill him, because I think they believe that he's the original, like the Victor Timely variant is actually the original, who started doing all the time traveling to basically kind of explode the multiverse because he kept changing things in time. So like it would make branches. This is my theory of
That
where
makes
it's all
sense.
going.
I would buy into that. I think that'd be
Um
interesting.
and I'm kind of yeah, and I'm kind of picking this up because I've seen other like, social media accounts like basically make this theory that about how when the He Who Remains, I think, is telling them in season 1 about how like, oh, I started time traveling and then like variants of myself like started going to war, blah blah blah. So it's something to do with that explanation about how the actual original one might be the Victor Timely that's in the it's in that weird part of the past in that one branch, but maybe it's a part of the main universe, and then he started time traveling forward and backward, whatever, started creating all these variant versions of himself or something. I is my guess, but
I would think that would be a pretty cool approach for them to take, because isn't Victor Timely, isn't that like the original like first appearance of Kang? Like, wasn't that his original backstory? Was that he started as Victor Timely and went back to the past? And I feel like that's in the first iteration, so that'd be kind of cool if it's basically kind of been established, if not established, like in this universe, like time travel bad creates multiverse branch. So it'd be kind of cool if that did tie into like the comics original backstory to Kang, and then it ends up being the original reason of the branching timelines, and then causing He Who Remains to fix it and
exist
sacred timeline. And that's actually a really cool theory.
believe
I'd buy into that. I think it'd be really cool if they kind of leaned into that for sure.
Yeah, I believe that's what they're doing, especially from watching the trailers of, and then the end credit scene in Ant-Man, right?
I'm trying to remember what the end credit scene was in Ant-Man. They
show Loki and Mobius.
Oh yeah.
There's the second one.
Yeah. There was the Council of Kangs, and then there was the Loki teaser.
Yeah, so the Loki teaser at the end of Quantumania, I'd be like that teaser, and then like another part, like another thing of like I think in one of the trailers. So that's why I believe that they're doing exactly what we both said, is the Timely will be like the very original that establishes time travel, and like created branched universes, and then the He Who Remains variant is the one that's not like, a fascist. And like basically gets rid of all the other variants to make the sacred timeline again, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure in the end, it'll be something about how there's really only this one really big bad variant of Kang, and we gotta kill him, and then all the others will just play ball and be cool. That's probably how this will actually go, because I'm sure they'll want to keep the whole... I mean, or not. Maybe they'll do the DC thing, where we'll get all these different heroes from different universes looking at you, X-Men and Fantastic Four, and they'll be like coming over into 616, and then like some shit'll happen, and we'll be like, okay, well, we gotta rewrite everything for one timeline, but we're gonna like pull all these important people to still exist within one universe.
No matter what, they're gonna go fucking hard when Secret Wars comes out.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was the theory with the scene with Sylvie at the end with the elevator, where she pops out and says, "There you are." I wonder if that could potentially be like one of the last scenes in the season. And I have a theory. I think Loki
I would believe
is
so.
one that actually purges himself. Because that's the part where it's in the future. So I feel like Loki is going to end up purging himself because he knows it has to happen in order for all these other events to take place. since we're doing this linear timeline BS. And just the way, and for whatever reason, just the way when he was looking at her when she popped out, he just looked, I don't know, he just looked really sad and depressed. Like he just knew he was going to like lose her or something. And then all of a sudden he just gets purged. It's almost like in a weird way, he like already got like almost the deja vu effect and was able to feel himself in the future and how he was feeling. And then he gets purged. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just kind of got that feeling in that scene that I feel like this is going to end up playing out again later in the season. And it's probably himself that ends up purging himself.
That's probably a good call, because it didn't really show us who did. So I'd probably say that's a great call. The only other thing I'll say on that is that I think the reason that he looked that way when he saw her is because he was kind of realizing, because that version of him knows that right now, he's like, oh, I gotta get purged, so then I can get pulled out of the time stream, so I stop slipping. And I think that he more got overwhelmingly sad there, because when he saw her, he kind of realized how, like, well, I'm going to do this time slipping thing now forever, because we only have this one shot to do it, apparently. And I slipped at the last second, didn't have the purge stick, so now I'm screwed. And I think that's, like, really ultimately why he looked that way. But that's just my guess.
That makes sense too, and I was kind of
because it like, I don't know. It just, other than that, it wouldn't really make sense as to like why would he look that way towards her when he finally gets to reunite with her or something, or found her.
That was another like little. You actually just kind of brought up a little gripe that I kind of had too, which you might be able to explain away from me, because maybe I'm just not. I might be able to answer my own question. But when he does slip at the very end, when he's holding the purge stick, and he's also holding the reader or whatever, why is it that the stick didn't come with him? Is that just because it's a TV?
He dropped it. He dropped the stick.
It looked like it just. Well, I guess because he's like. But still, how is he holding on to this thing and drops this thing? I don't know. That was just a little weird to me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's
a little convenient for the plot. It's like, oh no. Like, but he's still.
I mean, I'm just saying that's what happened. He dropped the stick. Like, I forget what happens before he starts to slip, but something causes him to drop the stick.
Well, I think it's because he starts to slip. Because he, like, slips and he drops it while he time slips. Because I was like, oh.
Okay.
But then he still had the reader, and I was like, well, how does he still have the reader if he dropped the stick? I don't know. It's a minor gripe. Who cares?
His brain only one half of the hemisphere. Maybe he's left-handed.
My logic that
only one half of the hemisphere.
Like, well, it's a TVA item. It's not supposed to be able to time travel just because you're not supposed to be able to time travel through the TVA. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
It's a nitpick, but it stuck out to me and I noticed
it. There you go.
I think that's really all I can remember. I mean, still intrigued to see where this goes. Like I said, I really like the cinematography and the music. Oh, the music was good too. But
yeah,
I can't give it. I could end up eating my words by the time of the end of the season, but right now, as it stands, I think 6-3. 6-3 is all I can really give it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say like a 6 out of 10. Like I said, I give like 6.5, because, like I said, it was okay, and there are parts that are funny, but it was. I mean, and again, it was truly an episode with its own unique arc, and it completed just fine, but I'm kind of letting the whole fact that there's only 6 total episodes kind of influence my judgment here, because I kind of feel like, well, maybe this episode should have been an hour.
Maybe. Wouldn't have hurt.
Like every other episode. Like, this is not cable television. Give me hour-long episodes. Like, I'm paying a premium to have your service. Don't know about you, but when we paid extra premium to have HBO and Showtime and all that bullshit growing up, guess what? Hour-long episode shows with no fucking commercials.
Mm-hmm. Max is or HBO and I'm still fuck it. HBO Max, whatever you want to call it. It still gives you like, at least on the HBO side, they're still hour long, unless it's made to be a half-hour show, like Hard
right,
like or something like that. But
yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's frustrating, but I feel like eventually, hopefully, they learn their lesson. But
hopefully,
it's whatever. But what did you guys think of the premiere of Loki? I feel like a lot of people are pretty high on it. Or are you kind of more like us, a little more down on it than most? Things to look forward to. We also will be doing Invincible when that comes back. What are we about? Is that a month away? Less than a month away?
Yeah, something like that.
Eventually, KP and I are going to work on getting caught up on Gen V. So
yeah,
we might just do a series review on that at this point. Maybe do a finale and then a series. We'll figure it out. But definitely all the episodes of Invincible. Like I said, we'll talk about that and figure it out just because we're already 4 episodes behind. But yeah, I mean, you can also find us both streaming. KP, where can the peeps find you?
The peeps can find me on YouTube, and I'm gonna probably say, as of right now, if y'all come over, like and subscribe my videos, and then if you pay attention to when I want to stream and you catch me streaming, and I grow there, then I'll stay there. But otherwise, I've kind of considered going either back over to TTV, but as for right now, I'm just going to stream on YouTube. So I'm going to create other stuff on there. Stuff that we both like, but we just both can't review.
Right. It's not enough.
Because Jsib is responsible with his money, and I am not.
And they can also find
God,
you on Twitter.
Dude. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They can also find you on Twitter, or X gonna give it to you at. Oh, God. That'd be polite as K for him.
Yes.
You can also find me streaming over at twitch.tv/jsib20. I'm also on X gonna give it to you at jsib20. So until next time, which I think the next episode will be Loki.
Yes. So right now.
So unless there's let us know if there's actually any other content you would like us maybe to potentially review. Go ahead and comment down below. But other than that,
for sure, we're open.
Like and subscribe. Maybe ring the notification bell if you want to get notified anytime we post a new video. So until next time, I'm your boy Jsib.
And I'm KP.